You got your questions correct? Please have some audience for you. Okay, otherwise we will do an empty hall. Okay. Judges ready? Ready? Full attention, please. We have complaints from students saying that the judge was not even listening. No, not about you. To the previous episode. To the comment. It's a difficult task to listen. It's easy to watch. And it's fun as well. Thank you. Are you ready? Okay, introduce yourself.
A very pleasant afternoon to everybody present here. I am Mohammed Zubair Ali and she is Hamsini B. And today we represent the Young Scholars Academy, Bengaluru.
And today we're standing strongly for the statement that climate change has little to do with human activities.
Okay, hold it closer to your mouth. Okay, and speak directly into the mic so it will be heard properly. Okay, if you're not heard properly, come on.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. My name is Akshay Murthy.
And I'm Sri Ram K. and we're the proud representatives of the Brigade School at JK Nagar. Today we're taking a stance strongly against the statement climate change has little to do with human activities.
A very pleasant afternoon, honorable judges, worthy opponents and distinguished audience. My name is Saisha and my name is Anatha. And today we represent the Teens Academy Gunjur.
We will be going strongly against the statement climate change has little to do with human activities. Over to teenagers.
First of all, let's get to know the definition of climate change. Climate change refers to fluctuations in the temperature and weather patterns of the earth. And secondly, what does human activities refer to? It refers to the various actions that are done by human beings in order to increase their sustainability and increase their necessity of living and quality of living.
I quote Richard Lindsay, climate is always changing and it always will. It is just the norms and not the expression. First of all, let's analyze for how long human beings have been around. Human beings have only inhabited the earth for only about 200,000 to 300,000 years. That's only 0.01% of the world's existence. While climate change first started 2.4 billion years ago during the Devonian glaciation period. Over to you. Firstly, I'd like to start off by defining what climate change is. Climate change refers to the long-term change in weather patterns and temperature over the years.
Now, let me ask you, have you all heard of things like ozone layer depletion, rise in water levels? This has even caused many countries to go underwater. Now, humans have been around, as they said, for 200,000 years, but life has existed for over 500 million years. And these problems are only propping up just now at such a large scale. So how can you say that human activities have not caused this? Over to you.
What is climate change? Let's stick to authentic data. According to the report of the IPCC, climate change, as our opponents from TDF stated, is the long-term change of temperature and other aspects of the Earth's climate. This often involves global warming, which is the rise in the average temperature of the Earth.
Now, this often occurs due to human activities. I repeat, human activities, which is deforestation, industrialization leading to the release of greenhouse gases, etc. So, this rebuts the point stated by Pime. Although humans might have only existed for about 200,000 years, which is approximately 0.001% of the Earth's existence, we have vastly increased the rate of climate change during this period of time.
Altogether. First of all, there are many natural causes too that contribute to the climate change. Like for example, let's look at the sun's fluctuating radiations, the tectonic plate shift, the Earth's natural warming and cooling patterns, and many more. All of these are actually natural causes and not human causes, and hence it's not only human causes that contribute to the
TMC stated said that the increase of the world's temperature is happening because of humans. Well, how about this? During global warming, 2 degrees Celsius is the increase of the world's temperature because of humans. But all throughout history, there was a time when 90 degrees Celsius was the increased temperature just because of natural processes and not caused by humans. Over to you.
Firstly, to rebut Team A, I know you said that there are many natural causes to global warming as well. Well, let me quote a study by the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, which states that only 10% of all climate change is caused by such natural activities. 90% of all climate change is caused by human activities like burning fossil fuels. That is exactly what we're saying.
And I would like to point out the statement says human activities have little to do with climate change. And as our study says, 90% is what has to do with climate change. Over to Team C.
I would like to begin by rebutting a point stated by Team C. I believe you have misunderstood the statement. The statement is not climate change is only caused, Team A, climate change is only caused by human activities. It is climate change has little to do with human activities, which as well Team B has proven that 90% of climate change is due to human activities, which again proves you wrong.
Again, talking about climate change and global warming, doesn't carbon dioxide have a leading role to play in that? Carbon dioxide percentages have increased by 50% since the late 18th century, from 280 ppm to 420 ppm. Also, this correlates with the deforestation and the fossil fuel combustion, which is not by humans. The trees aren't cutting themselves, the fossil fuels aren't burning themselves.
2,000 gigabytes of carbon dioxide have been released into the air since the industrialization period, again caused by humans.
Over to Team A.
Both Team B and Team C stated that 90% of climate change is being caused by humans. But the study that you're taking data is from is only talking about the last 150 years. Let's talk about all of existence. That's what the statement is for. All of existence says that all of climate change, only 0.0000003% of climate change has been caused due to humans.
Let's look at this one cycle called the Milankovitch cycle. This is basically a set of 3 long-term cycles. And what does this actually mean? Basically, when the Earth's orbit naturally becomes much more elliptical, there is a huge distance between the Sun and the Earth. And this significantly makes summers much warmer and winters much colder. And of course, this is a natural cause, not a human cause.
We've recently seen that climate activists are promoting electric cars. Why is this so? Because humans have this self-realization. They know that they are the reason for climate change and they are the only ones capable of fixing it.
And Team A, like you said, in the past the temperature changes were over 90 degrees Celsius per year. Well, after that, because of natural causes, climates also returned to normal. That's why humans even exist. But right now, because of human activities, the Earth is driving towards extinction. All species on Earth might be wiped out entirely. So much aquatic life, so many organisms living under the surface of the water are suffering because of the yearly increase in temperature. That is all caused by humans and no one else. Over to you.
I would like to bring to your attention that according to a study by IPCC, which was proven by NASA, the average temperature of the Earth has risen by approximately 4 degrees Fahrenheit, which is quite a lot. And this is also aligned with the usage of greenhouse gases, and which are made by the organization, the making of industries by us humans.
There are also ice melts occurring in Greenland, leading to the acceleration of the loss of mass. 279 billion tons of mass is lost during the ice melts in Greenland annually.
Over to Team A.
Okay, Team B talked about extinction and how because of human activities it's driving nature to extinction. But let's talk about prehistoric extinction. Because of natural climatic conditions, like during the post-Cretaceous era, because of natural events, extinction was caused. Humans are just another factor. They're equal to natural events. And we're just saying that natural events have more to do with it. That's why extinction was caused. You're stating human beings as the only cause of extinction.
So previously I had mentioned about the Milankovitch cycle. Now let's look at another cycle called the sunspot cycle. This basically means that in a period of 11 years, the sunspots on the surface of the sun increases and decreases, and this significantly causes the earth to become much warmer, and it also contributes a lot to the global warming. This is a natural cause, not a human cause.
Again, you're talking about things that happened long time ago. These extinctions happened a long time ago. Now humans are the main reason why climate change occurs, and they are the main reason that are driving our species to an extinction.
And also, I'm sure everyone in the audience had heard about the Antarctica-sized hole in the ozone layer back in 1991. Why was this caused, I ask you? It was caused because humans use chlorofluorocarbons in things like ACs and refrigerators. Even today, the hole has just shrunk and it has not been completely eliminated. This is because humans are still using hydrofluorocarbons in these appliances. Humans are the thing that are driving this planet to extinction. Humans are causing the global rising temperature, and humans are depleting the ozone layer. No one else. Humans. What do you think?
Team A, I would like to rebut a point said by you. You said that over the period of time, the sun has been the cause for the climate change on our planet. The sun rays, UV rays can only penetrate when the ozone layer has been destroyed. Why is this happening? Because of the industrialization and the greenhouse gases that are led by. Also, another point, as you mentioned that 150 years is the strategies that we are talking about. Before these 150 years, the climate had increased and decreased, which had happened through natural causes. In the past 150 years, it has increased the most, leading to the extinction of the species on Earth.
The Inconvenient Truth, which was a book written by the former Vice President of USA, Al Gore, clearly proves that despite the truth is inconvenient, that we are the cause for climate change, we must still accept it and take responsibility for it. It's like the proverb in the car, closing its eyes and drinking milk and stating, hey, I didn't drink any of the milk.
At this point, we're also closing our eyes and saying that the oceans are boiling by themselves. Over to you.
Last one.
Okay, Team B stated that during the 1980s and 1990s there was a huge hole in the ozone layer. Well, guess who solved it? All the nations came together, and this was one of the only problems solved by all the nations together. So if humans can solve their own problems, I don't get why it's such a huge crisis. And also, global warming occurs all around the world. Always emphasize on the fact that the carbon emissions are too much. Well, guess what? During the Neoproterozoic era, the carbon emissions were much higher than this. They rose up to 90 degrees Celsius, and there was huge amount of carbon dioxide all over the world. Over to here.
Okay, so in our solar system, there are 8 planets. We're not the only planet. And the gravitational pull of 7 other planets acts on us. And this also leads to the North Atlantic caps to melt. And also, you talked about carbon dioxide emissions. Well, yes, I do agree that carbon dioxide emission is done by human beings. But then, this is not the only aspect. This is not the only aspect with which you judge climate change, and hence we rest our case.
You said if humans can fix the problem, there's no problem. But the statement clearly states human activities have a little to do with climate change, and it has a lot to do. It's not whether they can fix it or not, and as I stated in a previous round, if they cause the problem, they have to fix it. I would also like to talk about the Industrial Revolution, where mass burning of fossil fuels has left an impact till date on the climate.
And even today, look outside. How hot is it? That is because of human activities. Look at the number of cars and buses. There are over 5,000 cars being registered every single day in Bangalore alone. Imagine the number of carbon dioxide emissions that are released every single day just in Bangalore. Imagine all over the world. And with that, I would like to conclude that we are still strongly against the statement that climate change has little to do with human activities. Thank you.
We can all believe that nature is pretty planned, right? 90 degrees Celsius is not the average temperature of the global average temperature right now. So that means it did decrease that. Also, climate change also has other reasons, such as the landslides which take place in hill station, which recently happened last month in Wayanad. This was because we chopped down all the trees that were supporting these hills, leading to landslides.
Climate change occurs in several forms. It can occur in the form of greenhouse gases heating up
it as success.
Okay, I think we move really. We pause. Team C.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sriram K. And I am Akshay Murthy. We are the proud representatives of the Brigade School at JP Nagar. And today, we stand strongly for the statement that lavish weddings are an insult to Indian ethos.
Okay, you don't have to. You already do this. Just start. Just tell us. Start.
Started the first round.
You're foreign there again.
Yes, started the first round.
Yeah, start.
Firstly, what's ethos? Ethos is a Greek word that means character, which describes a person's ideals that is characterized by their nationality.
Now, I want to ask you, what is the Indian ethos? While the Indian ethos symbolizes values like spirituality, simplicity, humility. Now, let's all be real. Lavish weddings are only about one thing. Say, I'm rich, you're not. Be jealous of me. Over to you.
I would like to begin by breaking down the statement. Ethos is a Greek word that refers to the character of a group or an individual. Lavish, on the other hand, is a perspective. For example, one person might consider 2 meals a day is lavish, but on the other hand, somebody else might have a different perception of lavish. It depends on the eyes of the viewer.
A lot of us think that Ambani's wedding was lavish, but from his perspective, it was actually just 0.5% of his wealth. But then his wedding on the bright side had also given a lot of employment opportunities to a lot of people, like the caterers and the decorators who were there in the wedding. Over to you.
First of all, let's understand the statement. Lavish refers to luxury. It refers to expenses made in terms of quality, quantity, and display. And ethos refers to a person's characteristics and culture.
Okay, firstly, why don't we understand why tradition and lavish weddings can coexist? Why can't they coexist? We can have lavish weddings, we can spend money on weddings that preserve Indian traditions and that preserve Indian values.
Firstly, to rebut Team C, they're talking about how lavish weddings provide employment opportunities. Well, I would like to remind you that the statement is lavish weddings are an insult to the Indian ethos. It is not whether lavish weddings are better, and it is not whether traditional Indian weddings are bad. They most definitely are an insult to the Indian ethos, and that is what we are arguing for.
I must remind you that traditional Indian weddings show characteristics like simplicity, getting close with your loved ones, righteousness. But what do these lavish weddings do? They do not show these characteristics. They are all about flexing, show off, pomp and show. They do not show any of these characteristics and are hence not to following our traditional roots. Over to the
Team A, I would like to say that I would also like to rebut to your point. Indian ethos speaks about how we should be giving, and we should give our wealth to other people. Also, lavishness is a positive trait, so that we don't give all our wealth to ourselves. Lavish weddings, a lot of flourishing businesses are contributed to, which does align with the Indian ethos in a way.
We can choose to conduct our wedding how we conduct it. It is a celebration of joy, happiness, and wealth. So how is it against the Indian ethos? Is the Indian ethos so fragile that it will collapse as soon as we celebrate the growth of our family?
In fact, the Indian ethos partially supports living a lavish life. An Upanishad states that Anandan Brahma, that means that the bliss is the essence of the soul. And we can, spend on ourselves if we work for it and if we totally deserve it.
marriage is the dream of a parent and of the grandparent of a child. Well, why would we interfere into someone else's dreams? And also, we know we have heard our parents saying many stories that our grandmothers used to save little money every month under their saris or in their chakri jars. Why? Because all of this money should be spent on weddings. Well, if this is the case, why would it be such an insult?
In rebuttal to Team C's point, the Upanishad stated you have to have a lavish life, not a lavish wedding.
And also, I'm sure everyone has seen the lavish weddings or celebrities. I'm sure everyone was aware of the Ambani's pre-wedding ceremony, where they invited celebrities from all over the world. Now, the traditional values of being close to your family, where are they being followed over here? The only thing that these weddings accomplish is promotion for your brand and showing everyone that, hey, I am wealthy. Look at me. Over to you.
The weddings of different magnitudes have been taking place for a long time. Also, the Indian ethos is not feeble that it will just disintegrate after we have a lavish wedding with the differences. Again, lavish is a perception. It depends on other people to perceive lavish in whatever way they want.
This has been happening over the course of several years. The Indian ethos hasn't been insulted. It hasn't collapsed yet, has it? Again, I would like to bring to light the fact that marriage is a cultural event held for a society. So how is it against the Indian ethos to celebrate lavishly?
Also, Narendra Modi in the campaign of Wed in India has also invited a lot of foreigners as well as Indians to spend in India. Why is this? He's okay with them to hold lavish weddings because it also provides opportunity.
If the government of India itself supports the weddings of foreigners as well as Indians in Indian soil, why are we against this?
Indian ethos is not about money. One can hold their wedding however they want to. Over to TV.
In fact, lavish weddings benefit the Indian ethos. Indian dancers, there are many Indian dancers, many songs and many things that are culturally linked to India, right? But to perform all of these, you need a lot of money. And to get all of these performed, you need to call yourself your wedding a lavish wedding. So I don't get how a lavish wedding cannot benefit Indian traditions.
Atithi Devo Bhava. According to the Indian culture, we believe that guests are gods. And marriage is an occasion that gets extended till 4 to 5 days. And this means that our relationships get enhanced and we get close. Then, in this case, why should this wedding be an insult to the Indian economy? To Indian ethos?
Firstly, Team C, if in one of the previous rounds you said that lavish weddings provide, you donate your wealth to others and you distribute it amongst others. Well, if you want to help others by giving them some of your wealth, why not donate it to charity? Why hold a lavish wedding, am I right? And also Team C, the Indian ethos has definitely collapsed, and I'm going to be providing you an example in a minute.
We've seen wedding ceremonies. How many of you have heard of the Vana Puja? It's not really followed in our weddings nowadays. This is because lavish weddings give up these ceremonies for cocktail parties, DJ shows, which is a direct insult to the Indian ethos.
And also, Team A, you say Atithi Devo Bhava. You have to treat your guests like God. Well, are you really treating them like God? If you're making them feel jealous to you by holding a very, very lavish wedding and making them wonder, why not me? Why can I not have such a lavish wedding? Why don't I have so much money to spend?
India has a lot of diverse categories where people are sometimes also segregated on basis of what wealth they have. It's up to them how they spend their money and have their positions. Also, as a rebut to Team B, you said that they could just hand over money as charity and it's not necessary to hold a wedding in order to give out your wealth, right? So, wedding is actually a cultural tradition and it's not a personal event, it's a community event. So, if you want to spend money on your wedding, it's better than it's better than a two-in-one aspect as well.
Again, regarding the theory, how is it jealousy to allow your guests to participate in your joy, to take place in your happiness? Why is it against the Indian ethos to let others feel joy in your pride?
Also, the Indian ethos is not insulted by how lavish or how not lavish your wedding is, actually depending on the perspective again. And the Indian ethos really has nothing to do with money. As long as you're carrying out the priests and all the basic wedding principles, it really doesn't matter how big or small your wedding is.
In rich countries like America, a wedding takes approximately 10% of a family's annual income. Over to teenage.
People nowadays spend way more money on casual parties and just birthday parties or reunions or graduation ceremonies. But weddings are once in a lifetime and it's worth spending your money on. And it's not just that. It's not just that. Making it lavish will require it to be traditional. It's not like you have one lavish wedding in your life and you forget all of the Indian ethos. Indian ethos will still be preserved. A very small percentage of Indian people, have lavish money. So the other majority, they can still preserve the Indian ethos. I don't get how a few weddings can just deteriorate the entire ethos.
We all know that Haldi ceremony is a part of Indian marriage. Well, we also know that Haldi contributes a lot to skincare and mental health. Well, if Haldi is a part of Indian weddings, and if lavish Indian weddings, is a part of Indian ethos, then why is this an insult?
Last round.
In rebuttal to Team B, if you go to Ambani's wedding, you're quite sure you'll be jealous of his wedding ceremony. They do not perform all the ceremonies. And in rebuttal to your point, you said it's communities coming together for a marriage. No, weddings are the coming together of two families alone. It's not communities.
And to conclude, I would like to paraphrase the sayings of Mahatma Gandhi. I'm sure everyone knows how big of an advocate Mahatma Gandhi was for simplicity. Now, can anyone tell me, are lavish weddings simple? They are not. They are directly going against the Indian ethos, because simplicity is one of the core principles of the Indian ethos. So how can you say that lavish weddings are not against the Indian ethos? Or to Team C.
Continuing the point I was stating before, in rich countries like America, the cost of a wedding is approximately 10% of the family's entire annual income. In India, it only accounts to about 5%. So how are we holding lavish weddings when compared? Also, weddings are not personal events. The wealth that is used in the weddings can be justified as community consumption. And as a rebuttal to you point, Team B, weddings are actually more than one family. Our relatives and distant relatives, our friends are also invited. Our friends are not necessarily by blood our family.
Thus, I would like to conclude by stating, we must not hold it in a cynical manner. For one to have joy, pride, and love in a once-in-a-lifetime milestone, we must simply appreciate this. Thus, we would like to rest our case by stating that we are strongly against this statement. Lavish weddings is an insult to Indian ethos. Wedding is a glue that brings traditions and relationships together. Well, if this is the case, the Team A told that wedding just brings the groom's and the bride's families together. Well, it is the bride and the groom's parents, the parents' siblings, the siblings' wives, the grandparents' siblings, the grandparents' siblings' wives. What is this? Many families come together.
Thus, we would like to conclude by stating that tradition, ethos, values and culture can coexist with lavish weddings, and there's no need for each of them to deteriorate each other's values. Thank you very much.
See, nice that you debated this. Have you finished marking? You both spoke about weddings and the lavishness and those, but you didn't speak about what your wedding is for. You understand? Was it just an event to spend your money, or was there a purpose for marriages or weddings? See, because it's lavish weddings, like you kept on speaking about once in a lifetime, but that's not a guarantee at all. Even with a lavish wedding, like you may still have to have many more weddings for the same person. You understand? Because to say that, it's once in a lifetime and people just get married once, is it actually happening now? Or is it like more pomp and gaiety and whatever? But what I was trying to say is that perhaps you have to dwell more on what is a wedding and why perhaps it has to be lavish or simple. It's not just about it being an event. Understood? For all of you. You have to work on those words because you left the wedding completely out of the context and made it an event. All of you understand? So be careful about it. If you are talking about a wedding and lavishness and Indian ethos, I think the statement would have fallen in place very perfectly. Then you would have been able to understand why weddings and Indian ethos and lavishness or simplicity. You got it? And why perhaps lavishness is important or simplicity is important. But when you're just talking about it as an event, all these things hold good. But not for a wedding. Wedding is not just an event. It's a very important occasion in a person's life. And what is that occasion? What are you trying to celebrate? That's how it is. This is how you need to evaluate the statement, which I've been telling for 20 years now. Okay, the last debate, you can ask the questions once they finish, so that we'll have the tabulation happening, so we can get ready for the results. The last debate of Verbattle Junior 2024. Get ready? Okay, CAD. You got the name of the team wrong. You said it was A. So you yourself being A.
Sir, I have a doubt. So should we begin by talking about our statement or should we just start with the introduction round?
No introduction. You know you're from Dean, right? Yeah. You've been come this is the third year, the fourth year. Third year.
Resources fade when not embraced. The mindful minds make their strength grow.
No, the statement. Don't say the statement.
Today we are going strongly for the statement that in India politics is just an entertainment for the masses.
Is that in India?
In India politics is just entertainment for the masses.
Just get the statement right. What exactly is the statement?
In India, politics is just entertainment for the masses.
Yeah, that's
You have to be very careful. When one word is misplaced, you have the whole statement wrong. Like talking about little to do with, right? Nothing to do with. A lot of it. You can't get the statement wrong. And I'm saying, so be careful. Just be careful too.
Today we would like to go strong. We would stand strongly in favor of the statement. In India, politics is just entertainment for the masses. Resources fade when not embraced. Mindful minds make their strength grow, avoiding downfall of the seeds we sow. Before we start this argument, I would like to appreciate the fact that India is one of the biggest democracies in the world. We take pride in our civil services, in our armed forces, and all of our facilities that are provided by our country. But then isn't it sad to see that the value system of the politics in India are sliding down to be just mere entertainment?
Rather than justifying this with some examples or exceptions to the cases, why can't we just accept our flaws and work towards it in order to ensure India as a nation will be able to grow? Over to Team
We're standing strongly against the statement that in India politics is just entertainment for the masses. I quote, politics is not a spectator's game but rather a participation game. Unquote. When we talk about this statement, in India politics is just for entertainment, but this is not the case. India is a democracy, right? So the politicians need to entertain their citizens. They need to grab the attention of their citizens for them to have a higher voter turnout and eventually, make changes in the reforms of the government.
If you thought politics was just mere entertainment, then why, if you thought politics was just mere entertainment, by now our country would have just shattered. There would be a huge mess between the citizens of the nation.
We are standing strongly against the statement, in India, politics is just entertainment for the masses.
To be entertained is getting amusement or enjoyment. India is the world's largest democracy and people consider politics a stage to voice their opinions and for their voices to be heard. Is this really an entertainment, a joke?
Now, India has over 1.4 billion people. There are countless diverse communities in India. If politics was just entertainment, would these diverse communities be able to get their opinions voiced, Team C, sorry. Over to Team C.
So firstly, I would like to rebut the point stated by Team A. You mentioned the term, Team A, you mentioned the term grab attention. The same way influencers and entertainers do. They grab attention in the form of likes and views, which is the exact same way that you are stating, agreeing to our stance of this statement. Now, politics in India is simply entertainment for the masses for several reasons. Number one, our role in India ends as soon as we cast our vote. After this, our elected representatives, our honorable elected representatives, will be lobbying in the name of religion, region, etc. In fact, in Karnataka, this is why the elected representatives are sent to a resort as soon as the elections are over in order to prevent them from lobbying.
After the introduction of technology especially, what is entertainment for you nowadays? Nowadays, isn't it most of our sources of media like television and our phones? Over to Team B.
Team C stated that politics is just entertainment, and what I said to them seemed like the politicians would be like influencers. But I just stated that entertainment is a part of politics, and entertainment is needed in politics because you need to grab the attention of the people for a higher voter turnout. And this is again for the democracy, right? So we need to entertain our people, and that's part of the government.
We do agree that India is a democracy, but then that doesn't mean that me and you can go over there, become the Prime Minister and President and start ruling. In that case, the whole nation would just completely crush down. And also, if at all it was just an entertainment, well, there would be a huge downfall in almost every single parameter, like the economy of India, the social problems, cultural problems, traditional problems, everything would just be a huge mess. And this is a serious system and not entertainment.
Firstly, to rebut Team C, the very fact that people cast their vote shows that the masses do not think of politics as entertainment. It is an integral part of our lives and an integral part of our country. And just because we hear about politics in the news does not make it entertainment now, does it?
I would also like to talk about the voter turnout in the 2019 general elections. 900 million registered voters. So do you think 900, a majority of the population, the masses believe politics is an entertainment? Over to teams.
Team A, rebutting a point said by you, you said that the government needs to entertain us. But politics is not entertainment. It's actually a critical thing that we need to pay attention to. It's important for our economy. Also, the TV shows such as NDTV and Times now are the most popular. These broadcast politics. Also, 70% of Indians spend their time most of the time. They spend their time watching these broadcasts and watching politics. Doesn't this just prove that politics is entertainment at this point? Because we have no one to play in these news.
In a 2022 survey, it was proven that 65% of respondents followed politics only because they wanted the dramatic scenes and moments, not for the serious political discussions. So, doesn't this show you that politics is simply acting as an entertainment for the masses these days? Politics is not supposed to entertain us, but due to the weakening of the value system, politics is actually degrading to entertainment for the masses.
Over to Team C stated about how 65 to 70% of people are just watching politics just for the entertainment cause. Well, that's what the people are watching for. But what the statement is that politics is not entertainment. It's not supposed to be entertainment. What goes on in politics is supposed to, talk about policy reforms and social reforms and development of the nation. And just the way they do it is just entertaining. That does not make it entertainment.
Politics affects the citizens' life directly. Well, it is the government who provide us the education we need, the healthcare facilities we need, the medical facilities we need. If at all it was just considered as an entertainment, Why would they provide all of these? Over to Team B.
Firstly, Team A, I think you have misinterpreted the statement because it mentions in India politics is just entertainment for the masses. Anyway, in rebuttal to Team C, you yourself said that politics should not be entertainment. So, just because people watch news channels doesn't mean it's for their amusement. It might be for their information too.
And also, I would like to point out that in the last 75 years, the percentage of people actually turning up to vote has gone up over 20%, whereas in other countries it's actually reduced. Doesn't this show that not only do people not view it as entertainment, more and more people are actively participating in it. This itself shows that people view politics as something that they can use to bring about a change in their lives. It is not something that they watch at 10 o'clock at night to relax after a difficult day. It is not entertainment.
Team B, let's also be real here. What do these political broadcasting channels actually say? They actually record the personal scandals, all the murders, all the drama. Do they actually record any critical political discussions that actually take place? Also, the cinematic industry nowadays also engages more in these in the political drama. This just proves that all the things happening in politics right now are forms of entertainment.
So please don't be surprised if our elected parliament is going to turn into a Bollywood movie theatre soon. Now again, repeating the points stated by Team A and Team B, I would like to remind you of the statement. The statement is in India, politics is politics is becoming entertainment for the masses. We are not saying that politics is entertainment or that politics is entertaining. We are simply saying that it is turning into entertainment for the masses, and that is their thought process, not ours. We are here to remedy this. Over to Team A.
See, there are many schemes that are provided by the government. Like, let's talk about Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, the Shri Shakti Yojana, and Make in India scheme. All of these are actually schemes so that they improve the well-being of their own citizens. If at all politics was just an entertainment, if at all government was just an entertainment, why are the comedians to sit over there and give us all of these schemes?
If politics was just entertainment, people would tune into it like a reality TV show. But this is not happening. Because of politics, the world is governed around us, and that's how it's, we are living the way we are just because of our government. And if it was like an entertainment TV show, our lives would have been crooked. Over to Team B.
Team C, you yourself are contradicting the statement. The statement is politics is just entertainment, not politics is turning into entertainment. And also, just because TV channels cover scandals doesn't mean that politics is just entertainment. The TV channels are just covering the scandals. Please get the statement right.
And we've seen how politicians put out personas to grasp the attention of voters. This is what even our teachers do in class. They put on a persona to grasp our attention. Their intention is teaching, and our politicians' intention is improvement of our country. Over to Team C.
I would like to start by rebutting to Team A. You said that India would right now be crooked if politics was actually entertainment. But then let me just give you an example. Just because X and Y are being compared, if you see that X is better than Y, but what if Y is so terrible, and that's how India is technically, that's the position that India is technically in right now. And Team B, you said that you said that teachers also grab our attention in order to get the topic, in order to teach properly. But isn't it just the fact that politics right now, are we playing any role in actually getting involved in it? No, a lot of people are actually just like sitting at home and judging the things that are happening right now.
India ranks 111 out of the 100 index out of 125 countries. 93rd in the corruption index. India is still developing. So we can't just lie here resting in laurels waiting for it to develop by itself. We are simply trying to acknowledge the mistakes. At the end of the day, we all are here for the betterment of India.
Also, we can't improve our flaws and develop if we do not acknowledge these. With that, we would like to rest our case.
Team C, in your previous round, you mentioned that critical problems that are discussed by the government is not available. The recordings aren't available. Well, please check in YouTube or in Google. Every single parliament session is live streamed in YouTube. And DC also mentioned that we can live
here where all of these problems are not being solved. Well, guess what? All of these problems are being solved in politics. In Parliament, they discuss about how to solve these problems. So we would like to conclude by stating that we are still strongly against the statement that in India politics is just entertainment for the masses. Thank you, everybody.
In Verbattle to Team C, yes, we are very much participating in politics because the citizen votes and then gets a stake in the system. And I would also like to talk about how politics has played an important role in our economics. The Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Act, which was proposed by a political party, has provided employment for 65 million households.
And to conclude, I would like to quote Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Politics is not a game. It is the very heart and soul of democracy. Now, I would like to state that the people of India do not view politics as entertainment. They view politics like how I view my mic. It is a way to get their points across and make their voices heard. With that, I would like to conclude strongly against the statement that in India, politics is just entertainment for the masses. Thank you so very much.
Okay, anybody has any questions? Just to keep yourselves occupied.
Judges, any questions?
Okay, do you have a question? Not at all? Okay. Somebody here from I should have a remark. Come. He was looking tired, so I asked him why. He had an answer.
Firstly, I would like to say that. Oh, it's on. Sorry. So I'd like to say that in this
Oh, I think
debate.
it's not working. 1 minute.
I would like to say that in this debate, I could not see a clear winner because everybody debated so well.
That's the spirit of Verbattle. You belong to any school, but you appreciate the goodness. Yeah? That's the true spirit.
I think in most cases the children are better than even the mentor sometimes. Why did my child not win? My child is better than the others. Okay, is there something hanky-panky happening? Yes, ma'am, we have a shop for that. Okay, we sit and do the hanky-panky after that. What we say? It's not. Let's tell you that we are completely dedicated to ensuring that this is a sport. And we want students to feel the spirit of sportsmanship. They should come here and participate because they enjoy it more than doing it. I'm sure there's going to be just one answer. For some reason that's entirely known only to the minds of the people who sat in